Alright, welcome back to Tecmo 101. So what I'm doing is some examples here for the QB progression I did last time. Just a second, I gotta adjust the camera. Alright, I'm gonna be Miami against the Rams. You'll have to forgive the camera we're using for this example because I didn't bring my video splitter. But we will begin, and you'll get a pretty good idea either way from this. Alright, so first off, we're doing RNSC fly, and we're just going to go over the hot route quick, if it's guessed. Marino has a hard time pulling it off, but you're trying to throw to your top receiver. See if I can be a little better here. Nope. Of course, Marino's not the greatest at throwing it either, so let's try one more time. Marino, normally people throw to the top receiver, but with Marino, you're sometimes better off throwing to the tight end spot like I did there. Because he often doesn't throw that well, but that's your hot route. And just be careful throwing that because people know about it. There's some matchups you could throw an interception just by throwing it. Now let's go over the play when it's not guessed. Unlike red gun shotgun where we always ran up, on this play we have to make our decision based on coverage. Like right here, this tight end's going to be open. And if I didn't get sacked there, I would have thrown to him. Let's try it again. Let's see who's open here. Because I'm running away from the open guy. It's the tight end again. Or actually the receiver too. Now there, the human defender has to choose to go after my quarterback or the open receiver. I assumed so that's what I'm trying to make it hard for him by going the opposite side of the short receiver. Like here, it's only the deep routes that are open. When only the deep routes are open, it's a good time to run the ball. Let's do another example. So right now it's the tight end again. I'm going to keep the arrow on him, make the human player cover him. Then I'm going to switch to this guy and get an easy pass. All right. Let's do another example of it. It's the receiver up top right there. Again, there's the bottom receiver was open. I kept the arrow on him. So either you have to choose between the short and deep route, and by running down, I made sure you also had to worry about my QB sneak. So there's three things you have to defend. Here, this is the only route open. So I'll run with the quarterback. That probably would have been covered. Let's see about this play. Here, I have the top guy. Again, they'd have to choose between either going after my quarterback or me. Let's take a look at it one more time. Again, only this guy. So, and imagine I wasn't in the red zone. You would keep the arrow on him and force them to choose between stopping the quarterback or giving up a possible deep pass. And you're just making decisions based on coverage. So you have to recognize coverage quickly. It's the top receiver. Now here we're near the end zone, so there's no point throwing it. All right? Okay, the camera angle's changed on a lot of that. Just a moment. All right, my assistant over here is going to be, you're going to get a special thing. Lewis is here, and he's going to be the Rams on defense, and we're going to go through some of the examples since I have someone here to play. Lewis, try to, why don't you get that couch or so you can be in the camera? Just stand back.
Yeah.
Or just stand back a ways. Make sure you're in the camera.
You got it on coach mode.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Here, I'll just press reset. Good thing you said that. Here. Man versus man. You don't have to be the Rams. Be somebody. Be Minnesota.
Okay. Does this sound the playbook?
No. I'm just calling that RNS pass play every time, and you're just defending it. Don't guess it. Give me the ball. All right, we're set up. So now we're going to actually be able to show you a few examples of what it would look like against a person. Remember, don't guess it. Guess the other passes. All right. All right, so I got an option between this guy and that guy. You don't have to, you can switch up guys too. All right, here it's going to be the bottom guy. Although I could have thrown deep there. Let's see about here. All right, that bottom tight end's going to be open and a deep route. I use that arrow trick so that way the option of going deep. Could have always ran too if I felt like the coverage was closer. Let's see here. It's the tight end. It's both the tight end. Oh, I couldn't get the pass off. I was switching back and forth to keep him confused. A defensive back like Joey Browner covers a lot of ground. Let's see here. Tight end again. And this guy. But this time I just ran to be safe. Sometimes there's no good throws and you're just better off running. Alright. It's only the deep guys. See how I was very patient there and took my time? Made sure I didn't get sacked, but also I let my receivers get down the field so he had to go cover them. Alright, again, no, it's the deep guy. And Marino can hit those throws too. But basically, I'm watching my coverage, regardless of who he takes. I'm deciding where I go based on who's open, that either one of the short receivers. All right, Lewis, if you could punt the ball back. Oh, yeah, punt.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you have the play? Actually,
yeah.
You do it and I'll defend you. So I'll defend you now. See, and what I like about this play is you always get a lot of options. It's rare that everything will be covered. Like, you have that option. That's the bailout for blitzes, but you could throw it at any time if you see it. Move the camera around. Not sure how this video is going to be. Jeez. Fucking camera.
A mile high.
I get it in position and it keeps moving around. It doesn't usually do this. All right. All right. Let's do some more examples. So this is the only open guy. You see how I'm not really covering him completely? And let's see what happens.
Oh.
I got lucky there. Because I was trying to keep him from running the ball. I can risk more. His quarterback isn't as good as my... Don't stand too far up. Your head gets cut off. Make sure your head doesn't get cut off. Okay, so again, now it's the two deep guys. And he used it and got about 6 yards. He could have maybe laid it a little longer, but I don't know. Sometimes it's risky, too. Here, he's going to have both deep guys open. And again, that means he can just run with his quarterback because I have to cover those two guys. Eventually, he's going to hit those passes. Let's try a different defender, see if I can get some better coverage. All right.
Ah, I mistimed it.
See, when I picked the bottom guy, he went right away to the top guy. That's a good decision because then I'm not there to defend it. Take Lewis Oliver. That time I was watching for the JJ pass. All right, he's going to have the top guy open and the tight end. And I had to cover that top guy. And you have to recognize it, because this one defender, he runs like he's covering the tight end, then he leaves. And if you recognize that, then you have an advantage over people who don't recognize it. Only the deep guys are open here. John Offerdale was right there to get him. That was a good throw there. I was trying to use the back of the end zone to my advantage, but couldn't do it. All right, let's see if I can. Now, this play isn't really good in the red zone. That's its one weakness. And this is a good thing to show you, too. This play is not good in the red zone, especially when you get this close or closer, because of the back of the end zone causes incomplete passes. All right, here, everything's going to be so close to each other. I'm just going to go sack them. So one other thing to say about this play is don't use it in the red zone. Unless you're really confident you can run, maybe with QB Eagles. Besides that, oh, he went over the line. I mean, you have to be at least 10 yards back to use this play in the red zone, or else it just doesn't really work out good. I'm going to do one more drive. All right, I went for the bailout pass to make some room. Let's see the coverage. He's going to be a DL, different look. Ah, it's too much pressure back there. I threw the wrong guy. Oh, but I got Marino, and Jim Jensen just catches everything in coverage. All right. It's not really advisable on defense to blitz too often. So let's see. I'm going to have that bottom tight end open, but sometimes it's just really hard to, like, right now they're defenders. There's really not much room for me to scramble. There are times, oh, I threw it in the wrong. You can, like if I had thrown it to the deep guy there.
Wow.
I got lucky. One of those controllers is bad for tapping. All right, so, but that's the basic ideal. At least this way we got some examples of Lewis here to show you what it looks like when it gets defended. But basically, you're trying to make your decisions on who's open and running and scrambling to the opposite side. If you could do that with the short routes and get used to observing the field, the second you recognize it and you make a move to the right direction, that's going to help you so much to be able to use some of these plays. All right, thanks again for watching my Tecmo 101 video series, and have a good day, everybody. All right.